everyone, my name is Kat Hand, and I am here with James Tomlinson, the VP of Product Strategy at Trustwave, here at the Hutton Hotel in Nashville for the Transformational CISO Assembly. Thank you, James, for joining us.
Thanks for having us. It's been a great event so far.
Great, I'm glad to hear it. Well, jumping right in, Trustwave is a leading cybersecurity and managed security services provider that helps businesses fight cybercrime, protect data, and reduce security risk. For those who are not familiar with your company, what is your mission as cybersecurity becomes more digitally focused and cutting edge?
Right, it really is to help companies understand where their threats are and how to really help them respond to them, not just help them identify them, but really help them with taking an action to minimize the impact as quickly as possible. And if something should happen, we help them with that part of the response also. And it's really try to help them protect themselves and then be able to respond when something happens.
Yeah, incredible. So how is Trustwave leveraging new technologies and platforms to fight that cybercrime and what you just described and protect data and reduce risk for companies and average users as well?
Yeah, the biggest thing that's happening in security with, every month it seems like there's a new technology coming on. And there is, because it's getting to be a vastly more complex environment. And so we look at that new technology as how does it progress in helping us identify attackers and take action, and how do we bring all that together for a company and make it really effective in their organization. And so whether they want to run it themselves and they want our help doing that, or they want us to help with parts of it, we help fit in and extend their security program.
Yeah, that's great. And basing off that, Trustwave caters to industries from education to the financial sector. Is cybersecurity inherently one and the same, or how does it differ in each sector? If it is, what would be a basic approach to coming up with the best cyber solutions for that industry?
There's a lot of that is exactly the same across industries. Mm-hmm. The attack vectors and the risk factors are different. A gas station has one risk factor, a bank has a different risk factor. And so it really is about making the right choices for your given risk and your business. It has to fit into a certain budget and a certain reality. So it's identifying which parts of the security paradigm are you going to focus on. And somebody said on the keynote yesterday about it being blocking and tackling, looking at good overall network hygiene, good practices, and really approach it from a process standpoint and get out of the technology of the day process. And we help customers make those trade-offs and fit into their risk factors and their budgets.
Oh, great. So digital transformation is something businesses, organizations, and institutions cannot ignore, and it's impacting industries from education to finance, what you just described. So how does Trustwave help businesses embrace digital transformation securely, especially as hackers, attackers, and everything in between become more digitally fluent?
Yeah, the cloud, mobile, IoT, OT, that's all impacting all of us every day. And so really it's about helping customers make that transition into those new technologies securely from the ground up, hopefully as they're making the choices. A lot of times we get involved as they've already made a choice, and so how do we come in? We help them come in and look at, here's the configurations you need, here's the monitoring you need so that you can detect those activities, and here's how you put a process in place to keep those configurations secure so you minimize the attack surface as much as possible. Because the cloud, I would say that if not all, the majority of our customers have some presence in some cloud somewhere, and it's just growing. Mm-hmm. And so that is well underway. And really it's still a matter of making sure those environments are secure as you're moving into them.
Yeah, exactly. And expanding on what you've been describing with attacks, when the inevitable incident strikes, teams will need to spring into action quickly and efficiently. So how does Trustwave step in to mitigate a breach or a fallout?
So Trustwave has some unique capabilities in that we have the ability to do a lot of remote incident response where we can start action almost immediately when we see something for a client. We can go all the way down to the endpoint or all the way down to the network and be able to do a lot of that investigative work that used to require somebody to go on site. So we can start right now, and then as that evolves more into a high-level breach, we have people that can come out and help with the breach response, help mitigate it, work with the lawyers and that type of thing. So ideally, we're stopping the incident long before it gets to the level of a breach. Mm-hmm. And we can do that remotely or on site, and it really shortens the impact and minimizes the impact to customers when that happens.
Yeah, definitely. So as a leader in the cyberspace, it is imperative that you are aware of all the ins and outs of the trends impacting cybersecurity. So what trends are you yourself keeping your eye on this year?
The biggest trend, two of them really. One is the move to the cloud. That is continuing to accelerate. And the cloud in multiple fashions with software as a service, the Workday, ServiceNow, that type of thing. And then the Amazon and Microsoft and Google are all, continuing to expand their cloud presence, and they're becoming security providers in their own right. And so we're integrating with those also. The other technology is really around orchestration and automation, where we have layers of ability in our platform to be able to actually take a response action. So when we see something, it's not just a notification. It's let's go stop this. Let's take a proactive action. And those technologies combined really allow us to be much more dynamic in fighting cybercrime.
Yeah, and for a CISO or cybersecurity leader, you have to be proactive in those situations with the new technologies and trends that are impacting cybersecurity. So what advice would you offer to CISOs or cyber leaders looked at as more and more people, especially attackers, become more connected and powerful?
I always go back to basics. It's about understanding where your data is. It's been a topic all the last 2 days. But understand the processes that you're putting in place and identify the technology that helps those processes. It's not a technology driven solution. It's a process. And whether you're doing it yourself or you're getting help from outside from consultants or managed service providers, it's a mixture, and each business is going to figure out the right mixture for them, but really focus on the process and the different levels of security, the different parts that you need to look at, whether it's your endpoints, your clouds, your OT. It's the process around all of that you need to really pay more attention to than any one specific technology.
Yeah, great. And referring back to the digital transformation and innovation, although it is hard to predict, where do you see the future of cybersecurity heading?
I would love to have a crystal ball, but I think there's a couple things that are happening that are really going to push us. The attack space and the defense space are going to become much more automated. So humans are not. You already see this happening where a lot of attacks are well orchestrated, well automated. The defenders, we're getting there, but we need to really focus on that ability to see the attack, identify the attack, and then take an automated action that doesn't require an individual in the loop, if at all. So automation is a big part. Just like software is self-driving cars and other automation like that, we're going to see a lot more of that type of intelligence coming in. I did not use AI or ML. Those are overused in the industry, but it really is about looking at being able to go quicker to identify both the proactive, where do I have a vulnerability? Can I fix the vulnerability long before it's attacked? That's part of automation also. So it's automating the hygiene, it's automating the protection services, and then automating the defenses.
Incredible. And to wrap things up, we are very excited that Trustwave and you yourself are attending the Transformational CISO Assembly this week in Nashville. So what benefits have you reaped or enjoyed while working with the Millenium Alliance this week?
It's been great interacting with all the people that are here and getting the different viewpoints. There's been a couple different things, agree with some, agree less with others, but it's been very good conversations across the board. I think the focus on process and data other than instead of technology is really gratifying, since I come from that mindset. Technology is important, but that process and understanding where your data is. And so hearing that from leaders in the industry, really gives me encouragement that as an industry, we're really maturing out of this technology-driven focus of yet another thing will fix the problem to it's a process. And so that's really, really great to hear.
Well, great. Well, thank you so much, James, for sitting down with me, and I hope you enjoy the rest of the event, and I hope we see you again soon.
Thank you very much. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you.